and it hasn't gotten simpler. Having seen hundreds of thousands of dollars taken off the bottom line and wasted when you can supply health insurance to your employees. In any other industry, you'd know the cost of service of the product you're buying, and as a consumer, you can shop and for the best price. But in healthcare, people have no idea the true cost of their healthcare service or the treatment. It's the only thing you buy, if you think about it for a minute. It's the only thing you pay for that you don't know what the cost is before you get it. The exorbitant costs of the healthcare are masked by subsidies, tax credits, employer and insurance contributions. Not a single person in this room could tell me the true cost of their last healthcare appointment, and that's the problem. Unfortunately, the hidden cost of healthcare exacerbated by the Democrat policies. Just last year, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle voted to completely hide the cost of health insurance under the disguise of free, zero-premium health care for many Americans. The expansion of the Obamacare subsidies cost the American taxpayers $64 billion, but the greatest cost of all is to the society. We need a safety net for people that are falling on hard times, falling through the cracks, but not families that are making upwards of $600,000 as we're currently seeing. We need safety net that empowers people. Hiding the cost of health care through government subsidies blindfolds families who are already struggling to pay their bills under Biden inflation. We shouldn't be surprised that Democrats keep pushing for these policies. My colleagues today will point to reports with increasing enrollment in the Obamacare markets and Medicare rolls. It's not a victory to have health insurance card in your pocket, but no cash in your wallet. I think you said that earlier. Yeah. Especially if the service that comes with the health insurance card are too expensive. Democrats are misleading Americans, telling them that they have care when all they have is a plastic card. The actual care costs are even more. Coverage mandates began with the passage of Obamacare over a decade ago. Since then, Democrats have continued to almost exclusively focus on those policies in the individual market, have done nothing to help the 48% of Americans who obtain their coverage from their employer. It should come as no surprise when there have been no work for Democrats to salvage their failed small business exchanges and small business health tax credits. I would encourage my colleagues to go to healthcare.gov/smallbusiness and see for yourself the small businesses have no options for coverage in the SHOP exchange in many states, including my own home state of Oklahoma. And no SHOP insurance means no access to the small business tax credit, which explains why only 6.
Good morning, friends. This is serious. Millions of seniors and retirees are not receiving good news from the federal government. The increasing costs of basic necessities are now outweighing the most recent cost of living adjustment. But it has also been announced that the next benefit increase may even be smaller. This will mean less monthly benefits every month. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. To say thank you for being part of this community, I will be announcing several winners this Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. If nothing is done to change course, Americans on Social Security may see their monthly benefits drop by 25% in the years ahead. That is because the Social Security Trust Fund reserves could become insolvent within the next decade. Many experts say raising the Social Security payroll tax cap could help solve the problem. Currently, workers pay 6.2% of their wages, and their employers match that contribution. However, any earnings over the income cap of $160,200 are exempt from the tax. It is a limit that roughly 6% of wage earners hit. Raising the income cap to $250,000 or more, or eliminating it altogether, could replenish the trust fund reserves and keep the program running at full capacity beyond the next decade. Doing so would also shift some of the burden of funding Social Security from the middle class to wealthy, high-wage earners. Currently, those earning over the cap pay an effective Social Security payroll tax rate of 1% or less. Those earnings under the cap get stuck footing a bill that's 6 times higher. Most seniors think that the cost of living adjustments made to their Social Security benefits this year will not keep pace with inflation and rising costs. According to a recent survey from the Senior Citizens League, 54% of seniors said that this year's historical 8.7% Social Security increase, which boosted the average monthly benefit by about $140, is not enough to cover the sharp increase in the cost of living. February's Consumer Price Index, it is a measure of inflation, increased by 6% year over year. It is a slight slowdown from 6.4% growth in January. Inflation remains well above the Federal Reserve's 2% target rate. The Fed has pledged to keep raising interest rates to bring inflation back down. For consumers, it has meant dealing with continued high prices and interest rates that could last well into the end of the year. Also, because of last year's 5.9% COLA adjustment, 51% of beneficiaries said they are very concerned they will owe taxes on their benefits. 1 in 5 said it is the first time they've earned over the threshold limit and potentially face paying taxes on their benefits. Social Security recipients can owe taxes on up to 85% of their Social Security benefits when their combined income is over $25,000 for single filers or $32,000 for couples who file jointly. This threshold is not adjusted for inflation, unlike income tax brackets. Friends, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Also, friends, a group of Democrats want to make sure the Federal Student Aid Office receives the funding it needs next year. Today, 17 Democratic lawmakers, including Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, have sent a letter to chair and ranking members of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee, Tammy Baldwin and Shelley Moore Capito. They called on the subcommittee to provide $2.7 billion in funding for federal student aid for fiscal year 2024. It is consistent with President Biden's budget requests. The letter comes after Congress did not increase funding for the agency this year. The Democrats wrote that fulfilling Biden's budget request is especially critical, given that federal student aid funding was stagnant from the previous year, which severely undermines its ability to implement critical programs like reforms to public service loan forgiveness and income-driven repayment plans. Lawmakers noted that Congress flat funding federal student aid for 2023 could lead to severe implementation delays. They also expressed concerns that the lack of additional funding would impair the government's ability to implement its Fresh Start programs effectively, which is intended to restore 7 million borrowers in default to good standing before they have to enter repayment. After 2 consecutive back lawsuits paused the implementation of President Biden's broad debt relief plan, Biden extended the student loan payment pause through 60 days after June 30th, or 60 days after the Supreme Court issues a final decision on the legality of the relief, whichever will happen first. That means that millions of student loan borrowers will re-enter repayment this year, with or without relief. And on top of all of that, the department wants to move forward with other targeted reforms. An insider reported last month the Education Department pushed back the deadline for borrowers to see a one-time adjustment to their accounts. Well, my marvelous and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this morning. Thank you, dear friends, for being part of this community and for being here every single day. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several winners this Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, dear friends, of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.